Right, so question one. Scotland has had a lot of strong singer-songwriters over the last few years. Is it a good country to grow up musically?
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, I actually left home when I was 16, and up until then I hadn't really experienced what the Scottish music scene was like. But since coming back over the last couple of years, and when I've been out performing my own music, I started by going to loads of open mics and then playing the small venues around the city, and I was just so blown away by the talent that there is in Glasgow, Scotland, but Glasgow particularly. There's so many talented young people and old people, and a lot of kind of blues influences I found. I don't know if I was just hanging out in the kind of old men's pubs where they all played the old harmonicas, but yeah, incredible talent and a really vibrant music scene in Glasgow.
Okay. You recently returned from touring Los Angeles. How different was it touring in America?
I get asked this question quite a lot. It's I wouldn't say that the audiences are too different from the UK audiences. It generally, the music that I play tends to be received kind of the same anywhere I play it, which has been really positive for me. Obviously, being over there and playing at some of the more iconic venues, it was a lot more exciting than playing some, you know, pubs like I was saying around Glasgow, and just being in that kind of West Coast setting and on the Sunset Strip in Los Angeles, where the music scene really kind of, you know, was very prominent in the 70s and 80s, and it was an exciting time, definitely.
Yeah. In the UK, what's been your favourite venue to perform at?
I think that would have to be the Lock Tavern, which I played as part of the Camden Rocks Festival over the summer. I'm sure it was a combination of the festival and the venue, but it was just a really brilliant day. It was hot and it was packed and there was so much energy, and I was playing with my band, and they kind of have an outdoor terrace as well, and everyone was kind of packed in and standing around the doors, and yeah, that was definitely my favourite of this year.
You're planning to release an EP later in the year. Could you tell us a little about it?
Yeah, well, the EP is something that I've been working on for the last kind of year and a half, writing the music, and there's been lots of points throughout the last year when I've kind of felt, oh, I'm ready to do it now, and I'm glad I've kind of held off, because there's new songs on there that I hadn't written before that I'm so glad are on there now. And I think it's been important for me to take the time to really kind of hone my craft in the songwriting as well, because it's not something I've been doing since I was, you know, 10 years old. And I think it's just a lot of kind of blues, soul, country influence, and hopefully some catchy melodies, and some lyrics that people can relate to, and some lyrics that people can find fun, and things that people can sing along to.
Yeah. Are there any plans for an album this year?
No, not this year. The EP is going to be the first step. I'm going to release a single off of it, so I haven't actually done a release yet, so that will be the first kind of thing that I put out there into the world.
How would you describe your single California Heart?
It was definitely influenced by some of my experiences over in the States. I studied music and drama there when I was 16, 17 for a year before I went on to study in London, and so it was written a lot about my experiences there, and then, like I was saying, this last year I've been back and forth a lot, so it's, yeah, I think it's a kind of a good representation of how I feel about over there, and you know, like I was saying, the West Coast setting and driving down the coastal highway and all that kind of stuff.
What was it like filming The Best in the US?
The Best? The video?
I'm assuming.
Well, I filmed a music video for California Heart in the US, maybe that's what that question means, which was just really exciting, and we were in such a beautiful location. We filmed in Orange County, and we were down on the beach, and then we were going through the little town and through the cool little shops and the tree-lined streets, and and I got to work with some American people, friends of mine that I had made years ago who now work in the film industry, and yeah, that was a really amazing opportunity to get to film my first video in such a beautiful setting.
You covered a few songs by some of your favourite artists, but which one stands out most for you?
That would have to be Into the Mystic by Van Morrison. He is one of my favourite artists of all time, and that song, yeah, it means a lot to me, that song, and I really enjoy performing it. I think it's probably one of my most kind of heartfelt performances when I play it.
Yeah. How have you found coffee house sessions so far as a way of gaining new fans?
It's been amazing to be able to connect with people on such a personal level. Has been such an incredible opportunity. A lot of the time when you're playing in bigger venues, you don't have that kind of real personal connection with people when you come off stage, and then everyone kind of, once the music's over, they're, you know, back to doing their own thing or going to the bar or whatever. So I think that's what's really important as well about playing live, as important as the online social media stuff is.
Yeah.
Playing live and being able to interact with people is great, and then, like I say, you can then tell them about your different social media outlets and they can go and follow you online, and that way you can keep in contact. And I think if you've made that initial kind of interaction, people are a lot more inclined to stay involved and kind of watch what you're up to and come back and watch other gigs.
Yeah. And finally, how can our students go about finding you online?
Well, you can find me on my website, which is www.kerriwatt.com. It's KERRIWATT. On Facebook, it's /Kerri Watt Music. Same on YouTube, and then Twitter @Kerri Watt. And on the coffee house sessions as well, if you want to follow the coffee house sessions, they'll be posting all the different bits of media from this tour as well.
Yeah, that's great. That's
Thank
everything.
you.